Hi, this is Fred, FR5ED, here with a beer review. FR5ED with a silent 5. Once again, we are visiting the Beer Camp Across America 2014, the collaboration between Sierra Nevada and 12 other breweries around the country, microbreweries, craft beer. This is, I'm just guessing, my 5th in the series. And this one is a collaboration between Sierra Nevada and Victory Brewing. And I believe Victory is in Colorado, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't done all my homework, so I'm not sure about that one. This is called Altroot, Altroute. Altroot, and it's an Altbier. That's how it looks. Now, I'm not real familiar with Altbier. That's one of the things I'm really appreciating about this beer camp. I'm thinking of it more as beer school in a sense. I'm going to read the commercial description from Rate Beer, and I've got a little more information if we need it on another site over on Beer Advocate. But the commercial description says, brewers are notorious for refusing to take the easy path. Instead, we lead with our hearts and pursue our passions, no matter how difficult the road ahead. This is really a commercial description. Emphasis on commercial. Altroot is a tribute to this stubborn spirit that drove us to dodge the status quo and found breweries. Together, we chase the siren song of beer with this revamped take on an antique beer style. Like us, Victory is one of the few brewers with an allegiance to whole cone hops. They do extensive work with hop flavor, especially focusing on clever and delicious single hop beers, highlighting the same hop grown in different regions. They too share our roots in home brewing and never lost their passion for working with new beers and styles solely for the joy of making something new. Altroot is our take on the old school German Altbier style, featuring an ale lager hybrid yeast. Now that's interesting because ale is a top fermenting yeast, lager is a bottom fermenting yeast. But this says an ale lager hybrid yeast, which is top fermenting and fruity like an ale, but matured at cool temperatures for a clean lager-like flavor. This deep amber beer has a slight emphasis on the richly layered, slightly sweet malt body with enough citrusy hop flavor and aroma to produce a balanced, dry finish. It sounds complex, it sounds interesting, and it sounds so different from anything that I'm really used to. Now this actually, it rates a 92 overall and a 98 in style on Rate Beer, and that's after 168 reviews. And over on Beer Advocate, it rates an 81 after 510 ratings. It's 6.6% ABV. IBUs are at 50. So let's go ahead now that we've had a little lesson there. And I'm going to be using my IPA glass just because I chose to. It's my favorite glass. I don't know if this should go in a snifter or a tulip or oh, we're getting a little bit of foam coming out the top there. See that? Didn't come blasting out, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to go ahead and get started here. I don't know if it was bottle conditioned. I didn't see that anywhere in there. It is definitely more on the brown side for sure. I don't know if you can see that. It's like a light cola. It's probably not good to call it like cream soda color. It's probably a better color. It's a light brown. So darker than any IPA that I've had. It's not amber, so it's not like an imperial amber ale or anything, but it's a light brown. Interesting, different color. Good head on there. In fact, let's go ahead and take a close-up look at this. Pretty dense there at the bottom, kind of, different sized bubbles in the middle. Got some good microfoam on the top with lots of bubbles breaking through. Okay, let's give it a smell. Totally different than I'm used to smelling. Very pleasant. And maybe part of the pleasantry is the difference from what I'm used to smelling, which I usually like in IPAs. This has more of a sweet pastry, caramelly, and yet there's some hops in there. I'm getting hops too, kind of the lemony citrus side of hops, but in the background, because it's more, and it's not a big blast of aroma, but there's more about the malt and sweet malty pastry caramelly type smell. And yet the lemongrass is on top of that, or I say it's behind that, but it's kind of added in there. It has a light smell to it compared to the look. So let's give it a taste. It is definitely dry. Oh, most definitely dry. No mistaking that. Even though there was some sweet caramelly smell in there, it's dry, almost astringent. You get a little bit of that lemongrass in there. You definitely get, it's a lighter mouthfeel. It's not like you're getting a heavy malt, backbone in there that's coming through. It's a light, almost refreshing taste. I don't think I've had anything that dry in the way of a beer in a long time. And it's not a rye dry, because with rye you get, more of that spice, that peppery spice in there. This is it's just nice and dry, which maybe is the refreshing part of it, and that touch of lemongrass. So it's not bursting with flavor. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's not hugely complex. I definitely get some hop. I'm assuming it's hop bitterness. I'm getting it largely on the back top of my tongue, a little bit along the sides, but mostly in the back top of the tongue and some in the soft palate up top. It's kind of a blend. Well, they did say, of course, Sierra Nevada is all about hops. And apparently Victory is well known for that too. So I'm not surprised to find probably more hop bitterness in this category of Altbier than maybe there usually is. I don't know. It's my first exposure to an Altbier that I know of. So anyway, I like it. It's nice. It's very clear. It's kind of light bodied. It's very dry. It's got the hop bitterness, which I'm always interested in. And it's not something that I would sit here and study with every sip, but it's something I would enjoy. Unfortunately, as I've mentioned before, if you run across this 12-pack of these 12 individual beer collaborations, if you fall in love with one, it's going to be a broken heart following it, because you can't get them anymore. This was the beer camp. Anyway, this is Altbier, collaboration between Sierra Nevada and Victory Brewing. And this is Fred, FR5ED, over and out.